What's up, Headless Horde? Episode 4. Fantastic episode. Again, they're killing it. They are absolutely killing it. I mean, I don't even know. It's crazy to even think that we weren't gonna get more Game of Thrones, and now we got this. I mean, just crazy. Where to start? Let me get these lights on back here. I thought I'd turn those on. Let me get those things blasting. What color do you want? Hit me up, chat. What color do you guys want to see? Go purple. How about purple today? A little Mace Windu. All right. So where are we gonna start with this thing, man? We'll kind of go through the whole episode, and the first scene, we kind of had that dragon flying over that we saw in the trailer. Yeah, that was basically, Daemon's coming back, is king of the Narrow Sea. He stopped and got a haircut. Not much of a time jump in this episode, which I actually did enjoy more because it kind of continued the story from where we left off. So I thought that was good. After that, we get to see Daemon and his brother. They basically reconcile, I guess. And then, obviously, Daemon goes and screws it all up again. I thought it was a funny scene when Rhaenyra's on the throne, or not on her throne, on Dragonstone or whatever. And, they're, doing the little... trying to get her suitor or whatever. That little kid comes up and he kills that little bully guy. That was pretty funny. But obviously that they're just continuing that because we talked about that last episode. But that was pretty. That was a funny little scene. I thought she was completely disinterested. And then we get Daemon, and he's got his little wooden crown or whatever that is, and so. Decent start. It was a little slow in the beginning, I thought. And then we move forward where we get to see a nice conversation between Alicent and Rhaenyra on the bench. So you can kind of see that they were, obviously there's a lot going on there. Again, we're about 3 years. Yeah, right? There's about 3 years, in between the basically the beginning of the series, and it's a rough relationship they got going when they were almost like besties, but it was nice to see them actually be in a scene together where they weren't just snarky with each other. So I did enjoy that part. Then we move forward basically when Rhaenyra goes to bed, and then she gets that little note or whatever, that little bag. Which I'd love to know how that bag got in there, but, it's Game of Thrones. Actually, I guess maybe Daemon could have used that secret passageway that he obviously knew about, so that's probably how he did it. So Christian Cole, maybe he's not the greatest guard ever. But then, so they go through the town or whatever, and, dude, so much, the vibes I get were just completely Aladdin. That's all I kept thinking about. It's we're just missing Abu. Where's Abu? It was, to me, it was just straight up Aladdin almost. And then obviously when they get to the brothel, it's not really Aladdin anymore. But yeah, that was kind of the vibe I got there. So a little Easter egg, I guess. But what's up, Bob? What's up, Leanne? But yeah, so they get to the brothel thing, and I don't know what to think about this because she was obviously into kissing him. And I'm trying to figure out why he actually stopped, unless the plan all along really was just to have someone see them. So, I'm assuming that's kind of what his end game was there. But then it's weird because then he's talking to the king at the end and basically saying that he wants to take her hand. And so I don't know. I think we're going to see a little bit more, obviously, with that relationship. So let me know in the chat what you guys think. Do you think Daemon didn't really want to do anything, and he just wanted to basically have the spy catch him? I think he probably knew about what was going on with Otto. When Arya went over undercover, that's a good point too. That reminded me of that as well. But and then obviously, now what I couldn't tell was this: the kid who spied on him. So I was a little informant there. That wasn't the same kid that was trying to take your hand, was it? I was having a hard time with that. Bob, I did not watch it because I was preparing for this. I usually watch that the next day after I rewatched the episode. So I know I did not watch the inside the episode. So you don't think okay? So you don't think he was expecting to get caught? So why do you think he stopped? I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, for what reason? Like, we kind of, it's only like, we're only 4 episodes in, but we also, we see Damon, and we kind of know kind of what his character is, and they kind of foreshadowed this a little bit in, I think it was episode 1, when he was going to the brothels and, and all that. Yeah, I mean, that's why I was trying to figure out if it was the same kid or not. It was just hard to tell, and I just don't have time to rewind and all that kind of stuff. So you don't think that Damon was meant to be caught either, huh? So why do you think he stopped then? I guess that's the question. If you guys both think that he didn't mean to be caught, why did he stop? Or is it maybe because he figured, you know what, maybe I do have actual feelings, and he was actually showing, a human side of himself, actually, because she was enjoying it. But wasn't that kind of the point of him taking her down there? I mean, I thought it was interesting when they saw the play, and that kind of reminded me of Game of Thrones as well. When we see the what is it? We see like a little replay of Joffrey's wedding, I think. And what was the other part of the play? That Arya was watching. What was the scene? I think it was like Joffrey's wedding, wasn't it? I think, I don't know, I can't remember now, but yeah, it kind of reminded me of that. But anyways, I kind of figured that he brought her down there to have fun, and part of me is also, I think he wanted for her to see how the common folk actually saw her as, the potential heir of the throne. So Leanne's saying it shows he knew it was wrong. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we maybe got like our first little hint of like him being an actual human. Showing him, actually doing the right thing, because we really haven't seen that. Arya was watching. I think was her dad's beheading. Was it? There was a couple different ones though, I thought. Maybe it was. I can't remember. I would have to go back and rewatch. But yeah, I mean, so I just thought it was weird. Like, I kind of thought after he just decided to kind of leave her there, I kind of thought maybe he kind of has set this whole thing up to be able to take her away, and obviously the plan didn't work. Interesting that they have Rhaenyra, like, I don't want to say they're having her lying, because she's clearly lying, because something did happen. But it's, again, we're only 4 episodes in, so we don't know her character that well yet. And I think it's a nice little, it's different. It's a little different. And you can tell she's got a little, I think she's supposed to be like, 17, 18 at this point. I think she started at 15, I think it was. So now she's like 18, and a little rebellious, maybe, is the word. So Bob says, after the episode, they mentioned Damon's impotence because he felt it was wrong. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Okay, so then there, I mean, and maybe I need to start watching that before I get to go live. It's just, I try to, prep, and then I want to try to get up there as soon as it is, because it's late, 10:15, So yeah, then maybe Damon had no idea that he was being watched or whatever. So I think Bob's saying they said that in the after show, like, the little what do they call it, Bob? They called it what do they call it? I think you wrote it. I think you got it up here. I think you had mentioned what it was called. The after show died through or whatever. They do that a lot with these shows. Like, I know, like Disney Plus, they do that with a lot of these shows as well. So, all right, but anyway, so let's keep going through the episode here. So, all right, so we go back, and then you think, then let's not forget about the king calling for Alicent. So number one, it's interesting that you don't even sleep in the same bed or same room, and then so he actually calls her over, and yeah, that was pretty cringy. I mean, that was you see his back. I mean, and if you watch the, I mean, spoilers if you don't want to watch the, the preview for the next episode, but you can kind of see the king is not doing so well. So, I think that he definitely won't make it too much longer. You can tell they kind of been playing up. They didn't really mention anything at all with the scars or whatever he has. I wish we would kind of find out what this is though. But yeah, so that scene with him and Alicent was a little bit weird. Anyways, so then we get to Rhaenyra coming back. That was great. The look on Kristen Cole's face. She just comes back from the outside area, the outside of the door, and he's like, "Wait a minute, when did you leave?" So that was pretty funny. And then we get the little Kristen Cole and Rhaenyra. So Rhaenyra got a little taste from Daemon, and there you go. So her and Kristen hooked up, and then we saw, what's she gonna do? It's kind of like that little. I'm trying to think. What is it? Not Cinderella. Oh my gosh. Alice in Wonderland. Like you get the little potion. You gonna do it or not? So, I'm going to assume that potion will obviously kill the pregnancy if there was one, and I think that's what they were going for there. So we'll see if she actually does end up drinking that, or we find out if she drank it or not. So that was, it was interesting. I was wondering what the heck that was all about at the end there until he kind of said, it'll take care of any of your whatever it's like consequences or whatever that you may have chosen to do. So, but yes, we have the Christian Cole scene, all that. And then after that, we move forward with Daemon, basically getting banned again from Viserys. And then we had the little Viserys and lesson with Otto. Yeah, and that was a pretty good scene. Man, I'll tell you, I try to remember who plays Otto, but he is one heck of an actor, man. He's really good. He's really good at what he does. So, so he got stripped with Hand of the King, and it was nice to hear a little more backstory on Otto as well, how he actually has become Hand of the King over, the last several decades, it sounds like. So, and then basically the episode kind of just ends then right with that little exchange between Viserys and Rhaenyra when they talk about the dagger and the prophecy and all that. And again, I believe it's all about Jon Snow. I mean, because the Song of Ice and Fire, I mean, I don't think we're gonna get anything into that. Like, we're not gonna see White Walker. I mean, unless it's the very, very end, and it depends how many years they decided to move forward in this storyline. But we're still like over 165 years or something away. So it's interesting that the prophecy there was all about Jon Snow. I kind of like that little tidbit there. So, but yeah, overall, I would say the episode. I mean, a solid 9. I mean, you got to think back to the original Game of Thrones. I know last week we were talking about this when Ryan was here, and we were talking about like there's not a ton of action. We probably have the most action in like the first episode, and we got a little last week, just a little at the end. But that's the thing. Like even in Game of Thrones, besides little scenes here and there, we didn't really get it, and I think this is why the show is so good because it's not about the action, it's about the relationships and about just moving the story forward and just having spiderweb out with so many different things. And we're still not even spider and webbing out that much, I don't think. We basically had the main storyline with a couple other little ones around it. So yeah, but I would say the episode was a good solid 9 out of 10. What would you guys rate the episode out of 10? Just throw a number in the chat if you're there. Go ahead and Let me see. I'm gonna just check this out real quick. But yeah, I would say it's a solid 9. I mean, I've liked every episode so far. So, but anyways, so what else we got? So we got the preview for next week. I'll do a video on that later in this week. I dropped it a little late last week because I posted a couple other videos on a couple of the other things that was going on here, and we had D23 drop, and we had a ton of Star Wars content come out this weekend. So I'll be dropping some stuff about that. So Liam says 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's very solid. I mean, every episode I think has been like a 9, at least a 9, if not a 10. I guess it'll be interesting to see moving forward. So if Rhaenyra, so I'm gonna switch the slide real quick. So if Daemon is going back to is it the Stepstones? I think it was called. If he's going back, like, how is she? If anything, that relationship's going to continue. How is she going to get there without anyone knowing or whatever? It's just I'm trying to figure this out because it is kind of strange that like we started off and Daemon was right away, here's our bad guy. This is our bad guy, and then Otto was always kind of in the middle after the first episode, I thought, and so it's interesting that they like kind of banned him. And then they had that whole weird like crab feeder thing to kind of bring him back. I thought that was interesting. I mean, like you could have almost skipped all that, but I guess it was a way to mend the relationship and show the relationship between him and Viserys. But let's see. Bobby said, "Okay, real favorite part of the episode was the beginning when the donkey kid states his case. Oh, the dorky kid, yeah. And then he killed the big guy. Yeah, that was pretty funny." It was pretty funny. Well, you could tell the one guy is like, because he's older and a bully, but the other guy comes from a family with, they said a family with money and warriors, and so kids learn how to fight. Think of Arya. Think about what a badass she was. Kind of same little thing. People make fun of her, and she would take them out. I wonder if we're gonna get any. So we had the one mention of the Starks, I think, so far, and we had a little mention of Lannisters and Baratheons. I wonder, like, if this is all just going to be Targaryens. Like, it kind of seems that way, because there's not really any other, like, major houses, except for maybe the Hightowers, which really we've only seen 2, and so I'm wondering, like, what are they going to do? I feel like Game of Thrones works best when you have so many different houses. But, again, this is obviously based on Targaryens, but Rhaenyra is like, okay, let's get out of here and just yeah, I know. That was awesome. Yeah, she didn't care at all. Yeah, she's like, I don't care about any of these people. So I know you can tell in the trailer for next week, you can see that it looks like they're at a wedding. So it looks like they're going to end up doing something there, probably with the I guess the sea snake. So with Corlys's son, and it gets crazy. True Game of Thrones style, where any wedding you go to, it's crazy. So it should be a good episode, I think. Need some dragons. Last episode we definitely got the dragon. We've only really seen Daemon's though. A couple scenes with Rhaenyra's dragon. We need to get some dragons next week or something though. It's supposed to be like, what did they say, 18 of them or something? 19 of the dragons floating around. Like, where are they? Let's go. Like we're next. It's unbelievable that next week we're halfway through already. It's crazy. Let's see. I'm just look at my notes and see what else we got here. All right, Bob. Thanks for stopping on. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, as far as my notes go, I've pretty much gone over everything. If anyone wants to shoot a comment down there or ask a question, we can talk. I wouldn't say a ton happened in the episode. It was a good episode, but not really a ton happened. We saw the relationship between Daemon and Rhaenyra grow. We saw Otto get booted, which was a lot sooner than I thought. I kind of figured something like that was going to happen eventually, but episode 4, I was expecting something more. But I guess, again, you can tell, because like when the king dies, Otto's going to be like all in. He's going for it, And then it'd be interesting to see exactly what Daemon does too, if there's like a 3-way fight here. It seems like those are the 3, Rhaenyra, Daemon, and Otto. And then where's Alicent fit into all this? But yeah, a lot of character development in this episode for sure. But as far as moving the plot along, it moved it along enough to get to the wedding thing that we're probably gonna see next week. So, all right. Well, if you guys have no questions, we've been on for about a half an hour or so. Um, will Kristen be jealous? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I mean, they didn't really talk, and she pulls him in the room just afterwards, and they kind of stare, and that's it. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if she, how she moves forward with that relationship. I mean, we all kind of knew that was happening though. Like you could tell in the first episode that was eventually going to happen. Again, I think it's a little faster than we thought. I think I want them to give him more to do. I just feel like he's just basically stands at the door all day. Like I want him to be more of a character. So hopefully that'll come. But all right, well, I'm gonna check off. I'll see you guys this week. Like I said, I'll drop a video on the trailer probably Tuesday. I'm thinking about doing a live on some Lego Star Wars. We could talk some House of the Dragon. We could talk more D23 trailers. We have Andor. We have Tales of the Jedi. Willow just dropped a new trailer for Willow. I think that looks fantastic. I had mentioned in a live on Spec on, I think it was Friday or Saturday, I did a live, and I tell you, man, it's like Warwick Davis. I don't think that dude ages. Like, he looks the same. It's crazy. He is crazy, and it's. I think Willow's gonna be great. I'm a big fan of the original, so. But yeah, so all right, guys. I appreciate you stopping by, chatting for a few minutes. I'll be back next Sunday at 10:15. Yeah, I'll be dropping some content during the week. So, all right, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a good night, and don't forget, keep those heads on.